Hello! Didn't see you there. My name is Dick Dixon, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about the greatest new holiday CD that is completely sweeping the nation, Scrubs Christmas Adventures. The Scrubs Christmas Adventures is a 5-disc, 142-disc set that includes all your favorite holiday favorites, like
Jingle Scrubs, Jingle Scrubs, Jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to catfish in Scrubs today. Hey, Jingle Scrubs, Jingle Scrubs, Jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to chase in Scrubs today.
Ah man, that song always just makes me so excited. Just hearing it makes me want to go deck some halls.
Deck the halls with boughs of scrubs, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be cheesy, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Strike the flats and win the game, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la.
Finally, every holiday CD needs a strong close-in, and this CD does not have one of those. Here is probably the worst song we have.
Happy holiday, happy holiday. While the merry scrubs keep scoring, may your every wish come true. Happy holiday, happy holiday. May the league keep bringing happy cheese to you.
Hello, Scrubbers and Scrubberettes. My name is the Jungle of Cats. Today here, I bring you a wonderful podcast for the holiday times. And with me today, we have everyone's favorite, Mr. ATL Beast. And also today, we have quite possibly the greatest guest in Scrubs podcast history, Mr. Bears Awalker Mish.
Wow, hi.
Hello, Awalker. This is your first time on the podcast, huh?
Yes, it is.
So, in Scrubs podcast tradition, we always like to get to know a guest a little bit, so why don't you tell us a little bit something about yourself?
Okay, about me, let's see. I am one of our older Scrubs members. I'm in my, not as old as ATL, thankfully, but getting there. Let's see, I play in a flag football league. We go around, travel around, do some national tournaments. We have one coming up in Hawaii, actually, in February. Let's see, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? I don't know what to really say about myself.
That little snippet right there was pretty interesting, not gonna lie. But let's the generic question that always gets asked. What was your first ever Madden game, and when did you start playing online CFM?
Let's see. I started playing Madden consistently during Madden 15 or Madden 25 or whatever it was called. 2015 Madden. I didn't really play Madden consistently until then. I played at my, at a friend's house every now and then, but I just started getting into Madden a couple of years ago when I joined the Hub League, which we all know about. Yes, and so it hasn't been that long. Only been a couple of years, but I'm slowly picking things up. People are constantly teaching me things. I don't know a lot about the intricacies of the things you can do in the game that other people do, but I am learning and asking many questions from other people, and I'm getting better, I think, every year. So, yeah.
And Awalker, you were in the original X-Bomb League, right?
I was really pissed when it got shut down because I drafted a really amazing outside linebacker. And I will always remember that, obviously, as I still remember it today. But yeah.
What team did you have in that X-Bomb League? Do you remember?
It was the Jags.
That's
I specifically remember that because I was really excited that the outside linebacker got filled, and I had Telvin Smith and this other guy who was like 90 speed, 88 acceleration, something crazy like that.
And I think that was the first league you and I played in together, wasn't it?
I don't know, actually. You were not an original Hubber?
Yeah, I think X-Bomb was for me before Hub, and I was in a Group Me league before that with several X-Bomb people. Then I got invited into X-Bomb from that Group Me league.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what happened with me. I was in some group me league. It just completely blew up, and then some guy messaged me. I honestly don't know who it was. Actually, if I rewound my life, I could probably figure out that it's someone that I am playing with right now. But someone messaged me and asked me if I wanted to join XBomb, and I did, and then we all know what happened after that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, actually, we don't really know what happened.
Well, all the conspiracy theories anyway.
Yeah.
Little fun fact for everyone here in Scrubs. I believe me and Awalker have been in Madden leagues together the longest out of everyone in here. Because I'm pretty sure you and me are the only person that were in Lads at first.
We were, but Lads was a league that existed after XBomb.
I wasn't in the original XBomb.
So you think that I was the one that's been in the longest league with you?
Yes, with me personally and you.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
So, Jungle Hat, you came from Lads. You weren't even in Hub then, huh? Originally?
I wasn't originally in Hub. I got, what was it? I think it was Declan that made me jump over the Hub, or someone over there.
I didn't know that.
And that's when Awalker was wonderfully placed in my division with me, or either or, depending on which way you want to look at it. And that's when the little rivalry between us started.
Yeah, it's funny because when I first started playing Madden, I was just like absolutely awful. I was like constantly vying for a top 5 draft position at every moment. There was never a moment where I was not in the top 5 or at least top 8 for draft position. And then last year, for some reason, something just clicked with me, and I figured out how to win some games at least. So now I'm trying to make the playoffs in every league, but you know how that goes. Sometimes it does not go the way you want it to.
Just be happy you're not in the AFC South. Quite the barn burner of division here.
Oh yeah, I bet.
For every kind of kid you can name, Sears has a Super NES game. With 16-bit graphics, it's the new exciting one. Comes with Super Mario World for kids who love fun. For all those kids who love to fly, Pilot Wings is what to buy. F-Zero for kids who love to race, and hover out there up in space. Or for kids who want more joy, another game. It's Game Boy. What do computer kids want this year? For the game Nintendo, you can count on Sears. Hurry!
You know, this is a Christmas podcast, and we've just been sitting here talking about Madden, so let's get over to the Christmas side of things here. Let's talk about favorite Christmas memories, if you guys can think of one. I'll start, since this is my special, and I'm the greatest person in this call right now. So something that instantly comes to my head when I think, favorite Christmas memories. This might, make me seem a little spoiled to some of your people, but about 13, I think I was 13, I got a Xbox 360, a PS3, and a acoustic guitar, all in the same Christmas, and that was probably the happiest I've ever been. No, I am not spoiled rotten, not really rich. This is what happens when you have like 4 different Christmases because you have a huge family. That, other than, of course, getting to see family that I don't usually get to see at all year, that definitely has to be on the top of my list. Because ever since then, I've never really asked for anything big for Christmas anymore, because that was just pretty much it right there.
Do you remember what games you got with the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3?
PlayStation 3 came with Modern Warfare 3. And that was the only game I ever played on it, because I ended up getting rid of it after, because none of my friends had a PlayStation 3. And then the Xbox 360 didn't have any games, because I originally had a arcade version that ended up, getting the red ring and breathing its last life. So I just already had games for the 360 at the time.
If you got an Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3 in the same Christmas, it definitely means you are spoiled.
Yeah, absolutely. You're definitely spoiled, Rodden.
Never. I would never be spoiled. I have 4 different siblings, and other people, they like them more than me. But
who gave you these presents?
I got the Xbox from my mom. My dad got me the PlayStation, and my grandfather, the guitar was one of his old guitars. So.
And a guitar? Why did I miss that part? Jesus Christ. Well, sorry, this is a Christmas thing.
Hey, don't use his name in vain on a Christmas podcast. Come on now.
So my favorite Christmas memory, not surprisingly, very similar to Jungle Cats, although very different considering how old I am in comparison. But when I was like 10, I got really pumped for a Super Nintendo from my sister, whose boyfriend gifted it to her, which then she re-gifted it to me. So similar to Jungle Cat, but also the complete opposite, because it was kind of like a hand-me-down, like, crap, I can't afford to buy you a Christmas gift, so take this gift from my boyfriend kind of thing. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Do you remember what your favorite Super Nintendo game was?
Yes, absolutely. I have many, but keep in mind that we were kind of poor, so every game that we got was like gold to me. But the number one game was Pilot Wings. If anyone had ever played Pilot Wings, it was like you pretend you were flying a plane or a helicopter or something, or you're skydiving. It was very basic, but kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that was a launch title too. That was one of the best ones, I thought.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all right, guys. Well, I'll set the stage for you for my favorite Christmas gift. This will kind of tell you how close Awalker and I are in age. So the year is 1990. Little ATL beast wakes up in his bed, and stretch out, and my family says, "Hey, you can come on downstairs and see what Santa got you." So I creep down the stairs, all excited, and there's a big box with a bow on it. And that was, meant to be the big present. I could always tell from year to year. So I quickly unwrap it, and lo and behold, just like Awalker, I got a Super Nintendo. And I had Super Mario World as the launch game that came with it. And then that was probably, honestly, that had to be the best gift I've ever gotten. I think, for me anyway, that was the best console probably I ever had. The volume of games they put out for that Super Nintendo that were actually playable and enjoyable was pretty massive. And I don't know, Blockbuster came around, I guess around that time, but in my town, it's a pretty small town, so it took a while for us to get a Blockbuster. So we had like these mom and pop versions of Blockbuster. And one of my favorite memories as a child was going to rent Super Nintendo games and going into those stores, and just, the shelves, it was just what seemed like hundreds of Super Nintendo games to pick from. Now, I don't know if it was really that many, but it was like you almost never rented the same one twice. It was pretty amazing. One of my other favorite games was, of course, Mario Kart. I think that one was probably my most favorite of them all. But anyway, so yeah, that was my favorite Christmas present. I thought it was kind of funny that Awalker and I are so close in age, and we picked the same exact present to be our favorite Christmas present.
I was just thinking it's funny that you mentioned that, because I think the highlight of my childhood at every turn was going to Blockbuster to rent a Super Nintendo game, because all I remember is, and actually at this point right now I have it hooked up so that I can play Super Nintendo games via emulator through Xbox One, and I downloaded every single game that I always rented because my parents would never buy them for me, and now I've been playing them constantly. And whenever I'm not playing Madden, I'm playing, Lion King or Sim Ant or some ridiculous game that I would have rented when I was 10.
For whatever reason, the Super Nintendo, like when you would go to Blockbuster or whatever place you could rent from, it's like there was just like hundreds of games to pick, because the amount of games they were pushing out that were playable was crazy at that time.
There's something in here. Watch this.
Whoa! Rush into water, you won't believe your eyes. Make it come alive. Sea monkeys, we grow in waves. Sea monkeys swim to outer space. Sea monkeys, we're all over the place. We're wet and weird and wild, 'cause we make it come alive.
Sea Monkeys, real live fun. Each set sold separately comes with everything you see here.
We're alive!
Wow, guys, such great Christmas gifts here. And let's not all forget that the greatest thing about the holidays is not just getting gifts. It's to spread love and joy to everyone around you, except for Billy. Screw you, Billy. So we're going to move on to a little special segment that Mr. Awalker here came up with. Awalker, why don't you tell us about this little segment here?
Well, because we're all feeling cheery, jolly, and the sort for the Christmas times that we're experiencing now, or holiday times rather, I thought it'd be great to give other scrubbers some gifts for the holiday times. So why don't you go ahead, Jungle Cat? Do you have any gifts that you want to give?
Well, Mr. Awalker, do I have some gifts for you? For Canada. Canada, your bacon up there is terrible. So I'm going to gift you some good old American bacon so you can know what a real orgasm is like. Squish, you're quite possibly the hottest female in this chat, so I'm going to give you a $50 gift card to Starbucks. Go crazy, Squish. Retro, you and me both have something in common. We both love our Tom Brady. That is why I'm giving you a life-size Tom Brady cutout with a strap on. Have fun, Retro. Broncos, I'm going to give you a trip to the Kansas Underground Salt Museum. You are so salty, my friend, and I feel like this is the perfect place for you. ATL, I don't know what it is you have with this Japanese egg thing, but every time I see you, talking about this egg, it just makes me want to eat it, so I'm going to give you an omelet maker to make me an omelet with those stupid eggs. Awalker, you're getting coal. And Billy, you're my favorite person in this league, so I've paid for a subscription to hentaihaven.org. You know what that is, Billy. Oh, wait! And Zan! I forgot about you. Zan, I'm giving you the greatest gift a Jew has ever wanted. I'm going to give you the greatest hits of Adam Sandler. What are your gifts, ATL?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I only got 2 gifts. I'll start with my first. My good buddy Titans, who's in my division, who will never let me beat him, no matter how nice I ask or how nice I am to him. But in a sign of friendship and Christmas, I'm going to give him the super secret playbook of how to beat Retro. Some other people have done the quest. They served their time, and they found this playbook, and they know what to do. And now, Titans, your time has come for you two to also beat Retro. And for my second gift, Kurtz, being a fellow old man like me and Awalker, I want to make sure you're around to enjoy the league. So I got you the Zombie Survival Guide. Now, a few of you may know what Kurtz actually does, and I won't spoil it for him, but let's just say he has a gun every day and he protects something really powerful. Kurtz will be our first line of defense when the zombies actually come and attack, so I thought it would be very important to get him this gift. So those are the gifts that I got. Awalker, did you get anybody gifts?
Well, I didn't know that Kurtz was a Boy Scout leader, or whatever the fuck he is.
No, he works at Disney.
Okay.
None of these are true, except he does carry a gun every day.
I did get some people some gifts. I wanted to give Jungle Cat a gift. I wanted to gift him some confidence. Because every time I've ever played Jungle Cat, the gifts that I have to give, I have a few gifts to give. I have 3 gifts to give. The one person I definitely want to give a gift to is Jungle Cat. I think that you could use some confidence to gift you that confidence, because every time I've played or watched you, Jungle Cat, it seems like you're 1 or 2 plays away from winning the game, and you seem to fall flat, no pun intended. And I think that you could execute a little bit better, and I think that all has to do with confidence. So I want you to be a confident man heading into 2017, and I want you to win more games. After this season, of course, because I have your draft pick. I think you should just fall completely flat this season, if that's okay with you. My other gifts I have, for Wiki, I would love to give Wiki some Adderall. If anyone has ever experienced Wiki on the podcast or otherwise, playing in a game, I think Wiki could use some focus, and nothing focuses you more, especially when you're in college, than Adderall. Now, I'm not saying that Wiki doesn't already have access to Adderall, or that he doesn't use Adderall, or he doesn't sleep with anyone that has Adderall or a prescription for Adderall, but I would suggest that he start taking these pills at least when we're playing the Madden games, because the first half of Wiki's games are usually pretty competitive, and then he just starts blitzing like fucking crazy for no reason and lets everyone destroy him. It's constantly confusing to me, but Wiki, I think you have the potential to be much better, and I would like to gift you focus in the form of Adderall. My last gift would be to my other division mate, Jock. The one thing you'll find, in my opinion, when you're playing Madden, especially in CFM, is you have the guys that will go for their stats, and then you have the guys that use the swap button. And Jocks has always been the guy that will go for the stats. So when you're playing Jocks, technically, it's pretty easy to throw up balls to your receivers and have them just go up and catch them, like Odell Beckham. But if you use the swap button, it knocks the ball out of the receiver's hands. And for Jocks, I want you to start using that swap button, because I think you can be a much better player if you do use that. And so those are my gifts for this holiday season.
That's some great gifts you have there, Awalker. And to everyone who didn't get a gift from us, well, I'm sorry, you're just not that special to us. Moving on. I like to address the elephant in the room here, guys. I don't know about you, or not everyone in Scrubs celebrates Christmas. Actually, I don't even know if this is true or not, but we do have a couple, or maybe just one, Jewish friend amongst us, and I like to take a quick moment to wish them a happy Hanukkah, and, just make them feel a little, feel in with us. So do you guys have any Hanukkah moments you guys would like to share with us?
My friends in high school got to miss more school than I did because of Hanukkah, so that was kind of neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool of them. Yeah.
I think the best part about Hanukkah is that they get their gifts a lot earlier than us. So technically you get to experience, at least when we were younger, you got to play the the new gaming systems or the new games if you had a Jewish friend. So I've always been happy to make another Jewish friend or meet another Jew, specifically when it comes to video games. But
yeah, I'm a killer for the dreidels. I never actually had one when I was a kid because I'm a man and I celebrate Christmas. But if I could wish for one Christmas gift this year, it would definitely be for a dreidel. But again,
have you ever had a latke? Those things are fucking good.
Again, you're speaking different language to me right now.
Well, you do live in New York, so...
I was just thinking the same thing.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, there's a Jewish bakery every corner.
Alright, so moving on. Again, happy Hanukkah to everyone in Scrubs. And, yeah, that's about it. Okay. Hey, ATL. I heard you got something interesting you came up with. Why don't you share with the class?
Yeah, of course, man. So we've already talked about our favorite Christmas gifts. Everybody, or hopefully everybody, has those gifts that they think back fondly, that really helped them celebrate Christmas and carry on the Christmas tradition. However, I would like to think that all of us probably also have those Christmas gifts that we wanted that we didn't get, except you, Jungle Cat, because apparently you got a PlayStation 3, an Xbox 360, and an acoustic guitar all on the same Christmas. I'll kick it off. Mine's not anything big or crazy. It's not like a car or a fancy parrot or something. However, it was something that I always wanted and I never would get. Now, this also dates me a little bit, so hopefully Awalker remembers this. But when I was a kid, this was before Cartoon Network, so getting up on Saturday mornings was like the thing to do. The cartoons that they had every Saturday morning, you get up, you sit down and watch a block of like 3-4 hour cartoons, and they had various ones, of course, that you could watch. One of my favorite cartoons was the Sea Monkey cartoon, and so then they started selling sea monkeys. You could buy like little sea monkey aquariums. I don't think they couldn't have been very expensive. Now, in reality, they were just brine shrimp that you would feed and they'd swim around. But to a kid, I imagine them being like the little walking, talking, living under the sea monkeys. And my parents always told me that it was stupid, that they were shrimp and they weren't going to pay for me to babysit shrimp until they died like 3 days later. So that was the Christmas gift I never got that I always wanted. Awalker, was there a specific gift that you always wanted but never got?
Yes, and on a specific note here, or a similar note rather, just like you said, I'm dating myself by saying this, and no one that was born past 1990 will probably have any idea what this is unless they had older siblings. But my friends all had this, and this just kind of shows how poor my family was that they could not afford to buy me this. But there was this kind of weird game, if you could call it that, or a puzzle of some sort, where you kind of connect these tubes and other apparatuses into a maze or some kind of structure, which then you would put a marble down and watch the marble go all along every single structure until it reached the end. And for some reason, I really wanted that. And my family could never afford to get it because it was really expensive, I guess. But yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, I remember that too. Do you remember what that was called?
I have no idea. I have no idea what that was called. I just know it involved marbles and sticks.
That is certainly a gift I think many people of our age would want. I also wanted you remember, I think it was called like Hot Shots or something, Walker, where you had like a little cardboard thing and you put the marble balls in the guns and you would shoot them and they'd fly across the cardboard and you try to get them like in the other person's like little base or whatever.
Yeah, my friend had that game. That was actually a lot of fun. There was a whole commercial behind it, too.
Yeah, and they had like a real fast theme song, and it was kind of fun and fancy. I'm sure Jungle Cat has no idea what we're talking about on any of this stuff, unfortunately.
I have one of those marble plastic things you guys are talking about.
Of course he does.
Probably nowhere near what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, he has that game for Xbox 360.
But if I'm actually allowed to partake in this segment here, I actually have 2 gifts I always wanted. That, I mean, you guys know what the light bright is?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, the light bright to like 5-year-old me was quite possibly the coolest thing I've ever seen. Never got one. Took away from my childhood. Because like I always had a friend that lived across the street from me, and he had one, and it was quite possibly the coolest thing ever because he had to put the paper down, and he had to use the pegs to like poke holes in it. And then he turned the light on, and it made it all lighty and stuff. That was pretty cool for me.
Was your friend like 20 years older than you? Because that's an old toy.
No, he was just an old man that had a van and lots of candy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I am a sucker for Hershey's.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
My second gift is, I don't know if you guys, this might be a little too new for you old folks here, but there's these things back when I was in elementary school called Beyblades, and it was essentially just a spinning top, but they had cool designs on them, and they crashed into each other, and it was really cool. There was like this whole TV show about it too, but I had never paid any attention to. But the Beyblades themselves looked pretty freaking cool.
Okay, time out. Did you just say you went to military school? What kind of school did you say?
Elementary school?
Oh, elementary. Oh, okay. I thought you said you went to military school. I was like, whoa, we have a whole nother podcast to do. But
yeah,
sorry.
Agreed.
Sorry, continue.
I mean, I can make up a story about me going to military school if you want to do another podcast.
That's okay.
So explain, what is it, Beyblades? Oh, it sounded so old.
Beyblade. Yeah, it's essentially a spinning top. It has this little wind-up key that you put into it, and then you let it rip, as they said in this show. And they spun around, and you had to crash into like other Beyblades, and whoever was the last one, like, still spinning was the winner. It was just this real cheap plastic toy, though.
It's like the millennial version of Pogs.
I think that just about wraps up ATL segment here.
Yummy fruity pebbles in a bowl. Oh, here comes you-know-who. Yabba dabba fruit, delicious stew. Ho, 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 I'm hungry. Santa, my pebbles, your pebbles. 'Tis the season to be sharing, Fred. Happy holidays, pal. Oh, Fred. Fruity and Cocoa Pebbles cereals, part of this nutritious breakfast. Ho, 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 ho.
Well, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, I'll say. So we're going to segment into here a little quick little snippet. We're not going to run through the entire league here. We're just going to pull out. Well, I'm personally going to pull up a couple people here, and we're going to make our own little Scrubs naughty and nice list. Right now, Mark, I'm going to be the first person here.
You want to give me you want to give me someone to label as naughty or nice, or you want me to just say someone? Okay.
I'm going to name out a couple people, and then I'm going to go back and forth between you two, and you guys going to tell me if they just belong on. All right. So, for you, Miss Awalker, I'm going to give you Canada.
Well, this is going to be shocking for some people because Canada is Canada, but I got a message from Canada last week. I think he was drunk or high or something, but he messaged me and said when he played me, he wanted it to be just a fun, fair game, where we all both enjoyed ourselves. No one complained afterwards. And we just had fun playing Madden. And for that, I want to put him on my nice list because I thought he actually was very nice during our game. The first game I've played with him, where granted he won, but he wasn't very salty afterwards. Wasn't complaining about any of dropped picks from his random safeties or anything like that. I'll put him on my nice list this time.
To me, it sounds like you were just trying to get into your head there. But, alright. ATL, I'm going to give you one of our old friends that just rejoined the league here, Mr. Decker. Where would you put him on this list?
Well, Jungle Cat, I'm glad you asked me because I checked my list twice to see who's been naughty or nice. And old Brown's Deco has been very, very nice. We're all happy to have him back in, and now the balance is shifting to where there's almost as many Georgia people as there are Texas people. So for that, I put him on the nice list.
I didn't know Santa joined us, but alright. Thank you, Santa Beast. So next guy, I think someone in this league that never gets talked about, really, but yeah, he's actually been here, at least as I know, a pretty long time, is Lynch Mode. Does anyone even know that Lynch Mode is in the league? I'm going to personally list Lynch Mode here since I've, had a couple conversations with the guy, and he seems like a pretty nice dude. I'm not gonna lie, he's, never seen anyone get into a problem with him. So, I'm going to put him on the nice list. Oddly enough, we've done 3 people and haven't gotten anyone naughty, which I'm still on the fence about Canada. But yeah, Lynch Mode, he's a pretty cool dude. I feel like he should get some more recognition, because he's, like I said earlier, he's been in this league quite a while now, and I rarely see his name get brought up. So, definitely Lynch Mode, nice list. So, I'm going to do 3 more people and wrap this train wreck of a segment up. Mr. Awalker, you were the Giants last year. I don't remember who was in your division. So we're going to give you Marty. Awalker.
What?
How would you list Marty?
Oh, man. This is a tough one. Marty's a tough one for me. Because Marty and I had never had any issues. I actually don't think that Marty had many issues with anyone. It's just that Marty was an issue to himself. So I think that for me, I will put Marty on the naughty list because Marty, we were expecting more from you, and I wanted you to be an active member of our community going forward, and I felt like you did yourself an injustice. So for that reason, I'm putting you on the naughty list.
Yeah. All right, ATO, your last player here to rank is we are going to give you. Let's see. You seem to have a good bond with Kurt, so where would you throw him?
Oh, well, Jungle Cat, I'm glad you asked. Me and Kurtz go way back, as most old people do. But I'm going to put him on the naughty list. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Kurtz goes on the nice list. He's a good kid, protecting the country one day at a time. Wakes up every morning, checks his Glock, and heads right out the door. And for that, Kurtz, we salute you. God bless America, and thank you for being on the nice list.
I'm starting to get kind of a vibe here that Kurtz is actually Obama. So the last person, before we wrap this up, is I want to rank my best friend, Raul. Now, Raul, what you do to Billy, it's not very nice, man. And it hurts me every time you mess with him. And that is why, Raul, I'm putting you on the naughty list, never to be moved to the nice list. Just leave Billy alone, man. He's a good kid. We all love him. You're making him do some bad things. Just stop. Just stop. That wraps up that segment.
Oh, Jungle Cat, not so fast. Santa has one more for the naughty list. Santa talked to Chiefs, and apparently Squishy has been very, very naughty and will not be getting any gifts from Santa this year.
Well, Mr. Santa, what could possibly Squishy do to a lovely lady like Chiefs?
Oh, you'll have to check out the mini-sode that Santa released last week.
Oh, well, I guess I had to stop being a lazy jungle cat and start catching up on these podcasts. But all right, well, thank you for joining us for the segment, Santa.
Oh, you're welcome, Jungle Cat.
I am completely honored. Well, I guess that finally wraps this up now. I still don't know where ATL went, but we're going to move on into the pick 4 power rankings that we have for you today. And today, we're going, in the spirit of Christmas, we're going to rank our top 4 Christmas movie. Now, ATL, if you have returned, why don't you lead us off here?
Hey guys, yeah, that was weird. Santa just went up a chimney, and I don't even have a chimney, so I don't know where that was he went. I think he's just in the closet hiding. But yeah, sure. So I've done my Power 4 rankings, or my 4 Power rankings, or my 4 best Christmas movies, however you want to say it. I'll start from the top and work my way down. So at 1, I have my very favorite Christmas movie. I make sure to watch this every single year, and I have gotten my wife to start watching it as well. It's Christmas Vacation. Nothing puts me more in the Christmas spirit than watching that movie with all the crazy family antics and him trying to get that pool and not going to get the pool and then getting the pool. And, you know, what better Christmas story could you have than all the craziness with the Griswolds? Next, I have A Christmas Story. Both classics, very different, but both comedies. Christmas Story is a little lighter, a little more wholesome. That's one that you can watch with any family. I always enjoy that. Next is a little bit more of a controversial pick. Some people believe this movie is a Christmas movie. Some people believe it's not a Christmas movie. I tend to think it is. I picked Die Hard, and I find that to be a rather enjoyable Christmas movie. Now, the very last one, this one's going to date me like many other things I've said in this podcast, but it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, premiered in 1964. I did not watch the original cut of it, but it's something they still, show every year. And as a kid who was born in the 80s, I certainly enjoyed that movie, and it's still kind of like to see it when it comes on. It's in claymation, which is kind of creepy, but yeah, Merry Christmas and all that stuff.
Wow, ATL, I didn't know they had TVs in the Stone Age. All right, Awalker, we're going to move over to you because you were, gloating about how much of a movie buff you were here. So let's see what you have to offer.
Okay. Well, I just want to point out firstly, because I didn't list any of them in my pick 4, but claymation is and always was king at Christmas time for me, and anyone that grew up or was born in the 80s. Basically, every time it was Christmas time, claymation was the thing that you watched. The Frosty the Snowman movie, the Rudolph movie. I may be butting them together, but that movie where that elf ended up getting kicked out of the toy shop, whatever. Anyways, that was always a big deal, but it didn't make my top 4. So I'll start from the bottom going up. My number 4 for me, just like ATL said, some people don't think this is a Christmas movie, but I attribute it to be. I actually really like Love Actually. It's a romantic comedy kind of thing, but Alan Rickman is great, and anyone that's ever seen Love Actually has to love that movie, so I'm leaving that at number 4. Number 3, I don't think anyone probably has this on their list, but it was one of my favorite movies growing up, especially around Christmas time. It was Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, and every other actor that never became famous from that movie. I just really liked that movie. It was fun. It was a good remembrance of toys you never get and things like that. So if you've never seen Jingle All the Way, I'm sure it's on TNT or USA today or tomorrow or the next day. My number 2 movie I'm shocked that ATL did not list this, but number 2 has got to be Home Alone. I think that is a classic Christmas movie. I can't believe anyone would ever not list Home Alone. It's an amazing movie. I was tempted to put Home Alone and Home Alone 2 on my list, but anyone that's ever had a desire to injure a robber or be robbed or be home alone or eat a pizza or something like that, you have to list Home Alone on your list there. My number 1 favorite movie, and this is a movie that no one in the Scrubs probably has ever seen because they're all younger than me, and probably don't give a crap about Muppets, but Muppet Family Christmas, in my opinion, is the best Christmas movie of all time. Fraggle Rock's in it. The Sesame Street characters are in it. They're all singing. They all appear at different times, so you never expect it. Suspense, Christmas love, joy, all of that in one movie, and you just can't get much better than that. So I'm going to go with Muppet Family Christmas as my number 1 Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah, Muppet Family Christmas movie. That's coming in strong. I think I'm going to add that to my watch list for this year. I'd forgotten all about that.
Absolutely. You're going to have to torrent that, too, because that's not a movie that you're going to find at your local
CBS.
Redbox.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
Fun fact, I have the Muppet Family Christmas on VHS.
Hey, there you go.
What? New Christmas
Yep.
gift for me.
So, there was actually a lot of great movies I didn't think of. Jingle All the Way. I'm a big Arnold fan. I don't know why I didn't think of that movie. But number 4 for me is, I feel like a lot of people don't really like this movie, personally. But it's one of my favorites, and that's the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen. Not the third one, though, because that one was terrible, but the first 2 were golden. I've always been a big Tim Allen fan, mainly because of Toy Story. But he plays a good Santa in that movie. Number 3, we have Elf. I love myself some Elf. I don't need to explain this one. I feel like this is the perfect movie for me. Number 2, we have The Grinch with Jim Carrey. Now, I think that's probably the first movie I've watched multiple times in my life as a kid, and especially during the Christmas times, because Jim Carrey is always a funny man, especially the part where he's, messing with all the Christmas gifts in his little hut there, and he's sticking his head between the clapping monkey with the cymbals. Anywho, and number 1, my favorite Christmas movie of all time, don't care what you guys say, it's Die Hard. Come on. Die Hard's probably the best movie in general. So there's no real explanation. Die Hard, greatest Christmas movie of all time.
I mean, it had Carl Winslow in it. What else could you ask for?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I don't know.
Jungle Cat doesn't know who Carl Winslow is.
Jungle Cat, do you know who Steve Urkel is?
Black guy that dances a lot.
No. That's Carlton. Oh, man. You ruined my Christmas.
Family Matters.
There you
Yes,
go.
exactly.
Yeah.
Carl Winslow was also in Family Matters.
Yeah, he's the dad. And also played a cop in the TV show.
I got my next Christmas gift. I want Uncle Phil to come back to life.
Well, you're going to have to pray very hard to Santa Jesus for that one to happen.
No, I had a few other Christmas movies that I thought should be mentioned, like Gremlins and Very Brady Christmas, but I don't think that there's any reason to mention them.
I think we're getting off topic. Jungle Cat does.
Does the Very Brady Christmas have Tom Brady in it?
It doesn't, but it should. It does
should.
have extremely crazy Cindy Brady, who has now become just like an avid Trump supporter. And
When in doubt, Trump out. Hey, Walker, how do you feel this podcast has gone?
I think this podcast has gone swimmingly, especially because in the great holiday sense, ATL and I have been drinking probably for the last 5 hours. And in accordance with that, we also sang songs today. So I think that really sums up the Christmas spirit. I have not had any eggnog, which would have probably been a great addition to this as well. But now I'm getting very off topic, and I need you to take over then you can.
I'll try my best. So, no one cares about ATL's opinion. Fine. ATL, you got 5 seconds. Go.
But yeah, great podcast. I'm glad I could be a part of it, and Merry Christmas.
I'd like to give a big thanks to Miss Lady ATL that decided to come out and help us with today. She sounds like a wonderful person. She has a great voice. Very happy she could join us. I'd like to thank Santa, if he ever comes out from the closet, with ATL, for always being with us and always, being a good friend and giving me the time to share my Christmas joy with everyone. I'd like to thank Awalker for finally coming out and being on the podcast. It seems it's a little 1.5 years overdue. And I'd like to thank myself for being such a wonderful person and always being a jungle cat. Take care, everyone. Bye!
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Bye. Ho ho ho.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, 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 bells.
Piano in the bell, 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 bell.
Jingle bell, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride